Say, okay, good evening, everyone. I have started the recording, so just that you know, we are recording the class. Classes will be made available within a week or so from the recording so that I can upload them onto the YouTube channel so that you have easy access. I also post the links then onto the WhatsApp chat. Okay, so good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Karen Stander. We've been interacting on
impendulo zakho lapho izona ezenze kwanaleyantoni yokubusa njengoba esethusho ukuthi asikholi
you see. Let's try and keep it muted when just mute. Could not mute it. There we go. Okay. So let's try and mute as we come into the meeting so that we don't disturb a class that is running. Tonight, I will still be admitting everyone as we go along, but it is quite distracting. So I will be asking for volunteers that I can make admin throughout the process, and they will be admitting. Manana?
I'm volunteering, Doc.
Okay, I will upgrade you, and then you can just admit everyone. Lesejo?
I also wanted to volunteer, Doc.
Fine, the two
One
of you.
person is enough, then it's fine.
No, it's fine. I've made you both. Okay, great. Thank you so much. So I will not be admitting anyone anymore. Thank you for you guys for helping. Okay, so welcome then to HR Buzz ITC. It is quite an interesting module that is lying ahead of you. And I thank the 86 of you that's already in the class today. You will get used to the rhythm quite fast, and it is quite intense in the module. But that shouldn't scare you off. The majority of people do pass the module. It just takes a little bit of hard work to get through it. And I say this every year, and nobody believes me when I start off the year and I say it. But at the end of this module, your view on how you approach problems and how you approach life changes. So I don't necessarily measure success, and we do have an extremely high pass rate. We have a 95% pass rate. So I don't necessarily measure success based on the pass rate anymore, but the graduateness attributes that you guys get. So throughout the year, I will tell you, and you've already started gathering different certificates. These certificates, you can upload them also over and above uploading them onto an assignment. You can upload them and use them on your CV. So you are building these small little steps outside of academia. But then let's begin tonight's class by going to the module site. Ladies, if you could just mute students that don't mute themselves, I would appreciate. Try not to mute me, but we'll get there. Okay. All right. So you will see my brainchild on the site at the moment. Let me know if you can see the screen.
Yes, Doc, we can see it.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So in this module, you're going to do three things. You are going to gather information, you are going to understand the information that you are gathering, and you're going to do it by producing different sorts of artifacts. So first artifact that you will be looking at is a business model canvas. The second one would be a a small little article, and the final one will be a concept or a proof of concept, then where you take all these things together. So at this point, it seems a bit overwhelming, but it isn't really. It is very doable. And week, you will have the privilege of speaking to different students, or we'll have different students here that will tell you their journey. So last year's class, where you guys have 6 assignments, had 29 assignments to do. That was an experiment on my side. I actually liked the small little assignments, but it meant you had an assignment every week, starting at the end of this week, that you had to submit. While they liked it to the one extent, it did become the administration around it did take some time, and there were delays in marking. So we moved back to bigger assignments, allowing you more time to do it and more time to assess, given that you are already more than 500 registered students. So while we are talking about the module itself, the module, if you look at the credits that you have and get for each module, this module carries 36 credits. For those of you who have completed strategic management, you will know that it is 24 credits, meaning for you to do good in this module, you have to do 1.5 times more effort than for strategic management, meaning that you have to spend 360 notional hours, so actual hours sitting here, today's half an hour counts as 30 minutes on this module. So because of the amount of work that is required in producing these artifacts, you were grouped. So the first thing that I think is important is that everyone sees where to find the different groups. Now, I'm not on all the groups. I don't want to be on all the groups. I'm just on a few of them at the moment to just check that everyone is in there. But you will know how to get to your group if you go to your MyUnisa site. Let me just change this. You will see there's my initials there, and there's a little bubble. Click on it, you will see group.
Sorry, Doc, are you sharing your screen?
And it will show you the various groups that you're in. I don't think it's so my groups will then. Yeah, do not see it. Guys, share again. I will share again. Guys, mute please. Share again. Let me know. Can you see my screen?
It's coming
Give
up,
me
but it's a bit
hearts, thumbs
slow.
up. Not yet. Give it some
Not yet.
time. See, why is it taking so long tonight? On my side, it is showing. Let me switch off my camera for now. Maybe it helps with the bandwidth. I did see our area is struggling with power. Hearing an echo. So it means somebody else's microphone is open. Let's close the camera first. Let's check. Okay. Okay, let's check. What is the echo about? Noise suppression, more audio settings. Okay, let's see the echo better.
Much
Yeah.
better.
Much better. Okay. We just press the echo. Okay. Now can you see let's share the screen again. Once you can see it, if you can see it. Okay, cool, great. Okay, so back to how to find your groups. You will see your initials on my UNISA on the side. You will click on the little bubble and it will show you your group here. I'm in more than one at the moment. And you will click on your group and you can speak to each other in your group. Okay, so it does take a time to show, but there you go. There is a connection between this group. I don't want to share too much because there's private information. Okay, so that is how you do find your MyUNISA group. Then just to quickly walk you through what the module, on the module and how my brain works so that you understand the module layout. You do get your welcome messages that gives you some different FAQs. Then there is a big list of translated key terms. There's a research textbook you can use if terms get confusing. You do not have to buy any textbook for this module. There is information on the Sustainable Development Goals. There's how to do academic writing. There's how to get some help with MyUNISA. And then there's Prof Kelp. So Prof Kelp is an AI that you are allowed to use. So we have doing a talk on Friday in the Western Cape about the responsible use of AI, and I did share a few videos with you today as well on WhatsApp. UNISA's policy is still with council and it will come out soon. So in that policy on the use of AI, you are allowed to use AI in higher education. You're just not allowed to copy from AI. And that's the same in anything like Gemini. They can create things and they actually don't do an analysis or don't even really understand. Look, I don't know why the connection is bad. I'm sitting here plugged in. I'm really sorry. I don't know how to make it better. Let's see. Maybe if you give me a second, let me try and connect on my phone. Moment. Let me just stop sharing. Okay, let's try again. I am on my mobile network at the moment. Let's see if it goes better. You'll let me know if it goes better or whether it's still not doing good. Then I'll have to go plug in. Can you see the screen? Good. Thank you so much. Okay, so when it comes to AI, try and avoid using generative AI. And the reason that I say try and avoid using generative AI is that they don't actually even know what it is that they are doing. Right? There's an article just out. So what they are actually doing, they are just taking all the different patterns that you see on the internet in text and they are grouping them together. So that's why they do make mistakes. That's why they do hallucinate. So what we do use AI for, there's various AIs, and one link that you can save, I'll also share it, is of Prof. Johannes Cronje. He also works on this module. He gives you different AI tools on his website that you can use to do different things for. Now, if we think about AI and publication and how things go together and you doing research, it's important to remember that when an idea is your own, you don't have to cite it. The moment that it is somebody else's idea or somebody else's words, you have to cite it, meaning that it becomes plagiarism. You do have tools like Grammarly and then your generative AIs that can fix your grammar and fix your spelling. And that's not really plagiarism per se. But the moment that you go into ChatGPT and say, do this for me, right? And you stop having oversight and you stop doing the thinking and take that and you copy and paste it into an assignment, then you have crossed the line of academic integrity and the ethical use of AI. So you can use any of these ones. You can also, let me just move this thing also. Have a look. I did share this. Use any consensus. You have to use PiperPal is a very nice one. Elicit you also use in this module. Jenny AI helps you write. Watch out for Jenny AI because it does have a tendency to kind of want to write on your behalf. So it will start already populating things before you start there. Thesis AI is not relevant at this point. Thesis for testify this one does help you in the sense that it can give you feedback. But for this module, we are going to use Prof. Kalp that I created. He won't do your work for you. He won't write anything for you. He will keep on probing you and asking you questions and giving you feedback so that you can make your own work better. And he will only stop giving you feedback once he thinks it's fine, but he won't give you text that you can copy and paste. So it's a bit safer to use this rather than to go right into ChatGPT. And then you need to watch out if you are still doing the other modules that you do not use any ChatGPT or Grok or to do your work for you. I do know some of the honors lecturers do give you a 0 as a result of AI use or suspected AI use. Okay. So then if we go back to the module and get off AI for a moment, I would suggest that you subscribe to that channel. I don't know the guy, but not even. He is very good at what he does, Andy Stapleton. Um, and he does give you some interesting topics and tips on how to use AI. So then I've got all the different lessons. The lessons are broken up down into the foundations of research, human-centered design, understanding the problem. So I do think tonight we can just understanding the customer. So I do think it is very important that we stop for a moment, and I want to go here so there's nothing else that you start reading. And think, and I want to ask you this. Why do you do any research? You can type in the chat if you want to.
You do research to solve a problem which you have identified and obviously help either the community, the country, or the international community, but to solve a problem basically.
Exactly. So you do research to solve the problem. So in this module, we're going to do research to solve both a problem that humans experience, so practical problem, the tools that you use that I give you in this module, we're going to take that practical problem that you identify. You're going to go out to the community and identify a practical problem that you can see, you can touch it, you can feel it. And then we're going to take that practical problem that you see, and I'm going to show you how to link that then to an academic problem, because the two are not the same. The two worlds are not the same. So something can be a problem in real life, but it's not an academic problem. And then again, something can be an academic problem, but it's not a problem in real life. Okay, and that's a disjointedness, but that is what we are working with. So in this module, we're going to start in the real life, look for a problem, then move over to academia, and then come back to real life again. Okay. So while we are solving this problem, it's important to keep in mind what the outputs are going to be. So once you have these lessons now there, they show you, you need to see this one at the end here. This one, what was it? Lesson 6, lesson 5 is the rapid review. That is the literature. Lesson 6 shows you how to triangulate the literature and understanding the customer. That was 2. And lesson 7 is the conclusion or the capstone and 5-minute pitch that you have to do. Now, everything except for, I think, assessments 5 and 1 is group work. It's important you would see that during the course of today, you did get, let's just see, a teammate's email, right, from me or from teammates. You need to go look for it. It was sent today at 12 p.m. So it should be in your email address, right? Make sure that you unblock any teammates' email addresses. So, and why I'm sending this out to you so that you can figure this out now and make sure that you get it and make sure that the email comes through, is because you guys are going to write each other's contribution to the assignments. This is very important. In the last 6 years, that students have been doing the specific assignments or this module and in teamwork, I've realized that we do get something called a ghost student. So a ghost student is somebody that joins the module and then really quickly realizes that this is a majority of this is group work. And that my UNISA, when you submit as a group. Right? So you go to assessment 2 and you can then submitted as a group. So if I am not participating in the group and I'm still on there, because we have so many students and so many groups, I don't know when somebody disappears unless your group members tell me. Right? The only way for me to do that is to use a tool that will enable me to see that people are doing their own contribution. Right? So when we go into teammates, I want to just open the session. You will see it will send out the email to everyone that's registered in the class of as of this afternoon. It will be in on your My Life email address, right? So it will ask, is everyone active? You can then say yes, no, we're missing somebody. It's important that you let me know if you are missing someone, because then I can make contact with, for example, Maria, and then say, Maria, listen, Tyrone is looking for you. Here's the email address. Or I can see if there's a problem in a group where students aren't communicating. I saw on WhatsApp that you have a struggle. Then I can reach out and send the email. After the 20th of April, once students have not, I've realized when students don't are not active, I will shuffle groups. So you are in your final groups, right? If you are not active, right, on the site or not speaking to each other, I will put you into a group on my UNISA that says likely deregistered. And if you don't come forward, you will stay in that one until such point that you tell me that you are active. Okay. And then we'll see if there is still space in this. Okay. So have you made contact? You can say yes or no. If not, email me. And then you will see a tool that comes up. And this is just, for now, it's going to mean nothing. It is just to type something, right? And just to see what it looks like. Okay. So it will ask you, are you participating? Are you completing your task? Are you doing other things? Anything from a 7 to a 10 is fine. Anything below a 7 means you're not really doing your part. We do have a academic assistant that will be reaching out to students that do not get 7 and above. And I will be asking, and I will also be contacting groups to find out what is going on. Is the student contributing? Is the student not contributing? And then your mark will be adjusted based on the score that you got. So 7 is contributing normally. 10 is okay, going above and beyond. Anything below a 7, your mark will be adjusted. So if you got all 5s, you will get 5 divided by 7 times the mark the group got for the work. Okay. I do see you guys didn't get, some of you didn't get the email. It's important. There's a few places that you have to go and look for them. You have to go look in your junk email. You have to go look in your quarantine email. There's 2 different places. My UNISA quarantines some of the emails. I will share that email address with you now. Press submit and just remember to keep muted, please. Let me just check that it did go out today. I'm saying it did. Mm. Oh, no, I'm lying. Sorry. It will still come out on the 10th of April. I'm a liar. I thought I said it for today. Sorry about making everyone panic. It will come out on Friday. Okay, so the idea now is not to panic about it. I want to show you what it will look like and give you the address to just put into your mm, moment to open things. Right. Mm. So you don't need to go create an account. It will be sending this out directly to your MyLife email address. Here's the email address that you need to send. I'm just gonna share my screen quickly. And then it will look something like this. It will say, okay, from the teammates admin, so it's there alerts at teammates online at info. It will send it to the MyLife email address. It will send you an email that looks something like this. Okay. So I can't help you with teammates except for you to go on Friday. If you haven't gotten it on Friday by 12 o'clock, go check. Make sure that you've added this teammates online to your safe senders list, and then you should get it. Okay. It's important, guys, that we do this so that everyone pulls their weight. Otherwise, the module does become very heavy. Now, let's just go back to the module. I'll share my screen again. Now, when it comes to the submission, there's two ways that groups have been doing it, and they've been finding it successful. But you do both ways. So, but you do need somebody to take, first of all, responsibility for submitting it. Now, please don't, like some of the groups in the past, say, okay, Sean was responsible for submitting the assignment. Sean is sick, so sorry, we didn't submit because he was sick. If Sean is sick, Karabo can also submit the assignment. But it is only required of one of you to submit the assignment. But we cannot have me, Sean, Karabu, and Tabiseng in a group, and then none of us submit the assignment because we all thought somebody else was going to do it. And I don't know if you know that little saying about somebody that nobody did what anybody could, and somebody should thing. Right? So you need to make sure that that somebody submits the assignment. So the best way of doing it is to assign that task to someone. Now, when it comes to group work, like I said, there's two ways of doing it. First of all, it's very important that you sit with each other and have an honest conversation. For example, I have small kids. It makes it very difficult for me to meet in the afternoons, right? Because they are running around and it's crazy, and I'm working from home, so you will hear them in the background. Also, it's very difficult for me because we don't have a very big yard. We only have so much space. So what do I do with them? Right? I can't just let them disappear. So if you want to meet and you want me to sit in a meeting with you in the afternoon, you need to know that there will be background noise and that it will be irritating. So we will need to understand that it we need to take each other's humanity into account. Okay. So the first thing you need to do is get together and set some ground rules. Right? What is the expectations we have from each other? What can I expect from Emmanuel? What can I expect from Karabu? What can I expect from Karen? What times do I work? Right? Some of you work at night, some of you work during the day. So you need to set something that will work for you as a team, not for any other team, but for your team. And this skill that you are learning in teamwork is one, and you will hear from one of the students, is one of the most important things in the new world of work. We need to understand people have different circumstances, people work differently, people think differently, but together we still need to be efficient as a team because we don't have a choice. Right? You don't have a choice in this module. You won't in different aspects of life have a choice. You have to work together with other people. Okay. So now, once you have your ground rules and you say, okay, we're going to meet every week at 9 o'clock on Wednesday after the brown bag. Every week, in the next person will attend the brown bag, and somebody will give us feedback on what we missed. Because I don't expect you to be in every brown bag. That's why I do mic recordings, and also, but I do expect somebody from every team to be in a brown bag. Because there's certain questions that teams ask that everybody needs to know the answers towards. And if you're not there and you didn't understand something, then when Tsepo asks the question, you can quickly learn, but if you weren't there, you will never learn. You will just hear it as an after fact. And if you something you didn't understand, you can also ask more questions on. Okay, so now in your group that you have your ground rules, you can either decide to take a team leader, and I know some groups have done that, right? They have created, you are welcome to create WhatsApp groups. The team leader takes control, they consolidate everything, but it does become a lot of kind of extra work, and you're not going to get extra marks necessarily for being a team leader. Then they also rotated on the assignments to say, okay, for assignment 2, this one is, for assignment 3, this one is the leader, assignment 4, this one is the leader. You will decide how you manage it, right? Within your own personalities. Both ways work, and for some people, both ways don't work. But I know those are the strategies. Most groups do have WhatsApp groups that they use. I have no problem with that. I know some people didn't like last year. We also use it this year. We do ask you to upload onto YouTube. You don't have to make it public. You can make it private and share it with us for the marking, specifically your markers. You are divided with and allocated to markers. You would see, I don't know, I'm sure you see the groupings on your side. But I will also send out the email to indicate which groups are with which markers. So that you can just give your markers access then to any YouTube videos that you have to upload. So when it comes to group work, you don't have a choice. Don't email me. Sakwa said you have to do group work, so you're doing group work. And one of the good things about group work, it keeps people honest. So I might want to cheat by using AI. And in the end, the group needs to cheat, which makes it for me as an academic more difficult because you now need to corrupt 6 people and not just one. And for you, on the other hand, it gives more legitimacy to what you're going to produce in the end. Okay. I did see some students that have in the past done this module. We don't use research focus areas anymore to guide the research. We do at this point use human-centered design or human-centered research then. So we do start with a problem that people have, not in the academic space. Okay, let's see it. Are there any questions that I've not addressed at the moment? Okay, so there's one question in the chat, Doc, what happens when group members don't join after numerous efforts requesting them to do? Okay, so the assignment is only due on the 20th of April. So I do find that students only start joining then. So if by the 20th of April and using Teammates, I'm also trying to ascertain who is active, who is not active, you send me an email. Where students are not active, I will throw them out into a different group called not active. And I will stay there until they do become active. Okay. You can't be only 2 in the module doing the work. You need to be at least 3. Okay. Let me see who is the name. Lorraine.
Thanks, Doc. Hi, everyone. I want to get clarity on the teammates thing we're gonna get.
Mm.
Are we reporting on each other that we're not participating, or I'm just reporting on myself that I'm participating?
You're gonna report on each other. You're gonna write all your group members. The first one
okay.
is so you do a self-assessment as well as an assessment of everyone in the group.
Okay. Thanks, Doc.
Okay.
Doc, I've got a question as well. Sorry for not raising my hand. I see Mashiko's raised their hand.
That's
With
fine,
regards to
yeah.
the number of group, like, do we know, how do I know that now the participants have all joined and we can move on?
You are between 5 and 6 in a group.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Because I'd like to, hi Kagiso, I would like to introduce you all to the co-primary of the module. I didn't see you earlier, Mr. Kagiso Masengo. Over to you, Kagiso.
Okay, thank you so much and good evening. So I wanted to just add on one of the students who was asking about whether you're rating one another or you're rating yourself. So there's instance where you might find that some team members, they just come to the meeting, but they don't contribute. So we also want to know about those kind of aspects. Hence, we want you to rate the other people. So it is not only that you attend this meeting, but you need to contribute, and you need to contribute also on time, because in many cases you'll find that others, they will hold on to their work up until to the last minute. Those aspects we really need to see where you are lacking, so that we can intervene while there's still time, not have to intervene at the end. I think that's what I wanted to add just for now.
Yes, please. You can't just sit in a Teams meeting. Thank you for raising that. You can't just sit in a Teams meeting and switch it on and put yourself on mute and go cook. You need to participate. And one of the biggest and easiest ways to do it in a small group is to turn on your video to start with, so you can see each other and speak to each other. And then have kind of small outputs out of each meeting. Ask everybody to kind of give a summary of how they understood what is the task, divide the tasks, make sure people respond back. And yes, don't wait until the last moment, right? It is very difficult. If Kagiso, say we, Kagiso and I do a lot of things together. So if I have to send Kagiso something for he needs to present it tomorrow, and I haven't sent it by tonight, then he can't present the stuff that I wanted him to present, right? So then why would he say I contributed to helping him do anything? Even if I did the work, it's here. I just forgot to email it to him. He needs to have it for it to make a contribution. Okay, so you need to do your part so that Kagiso can do his part. Okay, and if you can't get a hold of me, you will always get a hold of Kagiso or vice versa. The two of us, I think we do make a good team, Kagiso. Bono.
Thanks, Doc. I would just like to ask that at what point are we supposed to report inactive members of our groups? Because I'm in a group where I think we are 5, but 4 are active, but then we can't get hold of the last one. At what point do we report if there's inactivity? And also, is there a strategy of how we divide work amongst ourselves in a group, or it's up to us?
Okay, so the first part of your question, by the 20th, students will have to do it for assessment 1. They will have to introduce themselves to the other group members. So if they haven't done that, and assessment 1 is compulsory, meaning if you don't submit assessment 1, you're out of the module, you fail the module. So by then they should know to have done that. So on the 21st of April, you can email me and say you haven't gotten hold of them. When it comes to dividing up the work, you will see there's a lot of interviews that have to be done I think for the next assessment 2. I'm not sure which one where you do a whole lot of interviews. It might be, for example, Bono, that Kagiso is here in Gauteng and I am from a rural village in the Eastern Cape. So when it comes to doing interviews, he is better positioned to doing that certain task than I am. So it would be better for Kagiso to do the interviews and then I can do the transcripts and the analysis. Because he is closer to the people, he can understand it better. I can do the next part. But it depends on the two of us and, how we see each other. It might be that I am in hospital and Kagiso needs to do a lot of work now. And when I came out of hospital, then I can do the editing. So that's what groups and teamwork does allow you to have a little bit of flexibility. You do have only 6 big assessments. They do take a lot of time. Don't I tell you, kid you not, they were 29 last year. So know that this is work that you have to work on every week. Otherwise, it's going to bite you. So you have a little bit more grace than the previous years where they had all these assessments. But you will have to work out a rhythm between you as a group on how to get this done. Okay. Assessment 1 is individual, but you have to share yourself, share your contributions. Okay. Let's see. Tabi Singh.
Good evening, Doc. Good evening, everybody. Just a quick question. Are the peer evaluations anonymous? And I ask this because, if somebody in the group is not active and then you obviously give them a low rating, they might retaliate by giving you a low rating also, even though you are being active in the group. So I just want to find out if they are anonymous or if they will be known. Thank you.
So who gave the score is anonymous, but the score is not anonymous, of not known. Let's say the score is anonymous, but we do publish the score so that you know that your team overall is not happy with you. It doesn't say, Kagiso gave you a 0, but it will say overall your team thinks you are not contributing. Yes. When it comes to retaliation, it's I know people do that. We have had that, and but it's very easy to identify, right? So you can, and Kagiso has been dealing with this a lot. So you can easily realize if Kagiso is angry at me and now he just gave me a bad score, retaliating, because if you look at the scores, you will see, okay, everybody gave this person a 10 for contribution. It is only Kagiso who gave me a 2. And then we kind of turn the tides on that student and ask the student, so why did you write based on emotion and not on fact? So we do take a lot of time to look at those scores. Okay.
Thank you. Understood.
Perfect. Kala Letsang.
Hello, doctor. Good evening. Throughout the entire day, I've been trying to access the group on the side, like the button on the side where we are able to access the groups. So I'm unable to see it.
Okay, let me quickly just switch mode back quickly and okay. I need to just log in again as myself. Mm. You're in a group, you're in group I-45. What I will do, I do think, you
When I try
are
to
in
open
group,
it on
yeah.
when I try to open it, like I'm using 2 devices. I tried with one device, then I thought maybe it might be a network problem or something. But when I'm trying with the other one, it's still not going through. It can't open.
Mm, we just check why it wouldn't open.
Okay.
Because just mm, you should be able to open it. Are you looking at the right space? Right next to your initials on that little bubble.
Yeah, let me try. Oh yeah, it went through now. Thank you.
Okay. All right, no worries. Okay.
Sorry, Doc, I might ask a question. I don't know if it's relevant
Yeah,
or
you're welcome.
okay. When we're saying you must introduce ourselves, some of us, we don't know if we should be too specific or just get straight to the point, or do you just want to see us introducing ourselves, or is it a
I
specific
just want you
content?
to start speaking with each other to say,
Okay.
I like you, but not as detailed as Kagiso and I'm doing tonight, but just I'm Gordon Standard, I teach this module. There you go. So that you can start communicating. And you need to go on that group, see how are you going to communicate? Are you going to stay on my UNISA only? But the most successful groups in this module have been on WhatsApp. Okay, then we have, let's just see, okay, Jamaica.
And good evening, everyone. I just want to ask regarding the
Is it me, Kagiso? Can you hear Jamaica?
No, I think we lost him.
Okay, we will wait for him to come back. Ntabi Singh? Okay, you've sorted.
Sorry, yeah, I'm sorted. Yeah, I'm sorted. Thank you. No,
Okay.
sorry, Doug. So
Yeah.
the intro that I sent of myself did not have my contact details. Will that have me penalized, or should I send another
No, it's fine.
introduction with my details? Okay,
No,
thank
it's fine. Okay,
you.
Jamaica.
Yes, good evening, Kahiso, doctor, and everyone. I just want to ask the My UNISA where we introduce ourselves. Where is it exactly? The My UNISA chat, because I'm battling to find it from my end.
I'll show you.
Okay, thank you.
If you open my UNISA, it will be here on right next to your initials. You just follow here on along with my UNISA. You will click on this little bubble icon, the messaging one, under group. I'm going to quickly stop sharing and then look for you, Jamaica. Okay, you are in group D4, Jamaica. I'm quickly going to go to that group. Check that everything is there. Okay, it should be there. Just
Okay,
on
in
that
that
little
group
box.
I did, yeah, sorry, in that group I did manage to myself. So my question, I thought maybe there's another group. Okay, so it's only that group and the actual WhatsApp group. It's only two groups where we introduce ourselves.
Yes. Yeah. The one is for
Okay.
me to communicate with the class, and then the other is for you to communicate with each other.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. I'm just going to lower hands so that I can know. Okay, we're going to, all right. Ntabi Singh, you are sorted. Then
I am
Lungile, you are. Okay,
on my.
Lungile. Lungile. Okay, Anele.
Good evening, Doc. Good evening, Kagiso, and everyone. Thank you for the opportunity of this session. My question is more of when we are now doing the assignment, isn't it that we'll be collaborating with our teammates? So my question is more on academic integrity, on the plagiarism, and how do we go about it? Also, even on Turnitin.
Okay, so when it comes to plagiarism, it's important, guys, that you don't copy and paste. It's because you are collaborating with other people. You know, it is it's important that you don't copy and paste because that will then penalize each other. I must say, and Kagiso, you can also correct me if your experience is different. I've realized that in this specific module, it might happen once that somebody uses Turnitin. I'm not something to copy and paste from. But now, say Kagiso and I submit this document and it comes back and you are penalized for using AI. That person's work will be highlighted, and that person, and as a group, you will know that that person did that. And you can then email me and say, listen, this was the contribution from Karen, and we did not realize it. But when something is properly referenced, and check your references. The one linked, I will also share this link now in the class. Way of surefire way of knowing whether or not somebody used generative AI is to see whether or not the references are real. ChatGPT makes up references like you won't believe. It lies into your face. You can even put the right reference in there, it will change it into a lie. So I will know and you will know based on the references. You could just click on the DOI and you will know whether or not students faked it or not. But they also needs, that's why it's important that you start building that trust with each other, that you start speaking to each other, that you say, okay, let's sit together and work through the lesson. Let's see how we help each other. So that you start this journey together, so you start to know each other. Like I told you, for example, today, one of the themes papers that we do have, I sent it into a conference. It came back today that it's accepted to a conference as a theme. So it's important that we check because in the end you can have these experiences, but you need to be honest with yourself. And if you are plagiarizing and if you are copying pasting, you are cheating yourself out of a learning experience. And unfortunately, that's the only way. You all need to take a moment back and decide whether or not you want to learn or whether or not just want the certificate. And you will be caught out in the end um, because you can only fake so much. Okay.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. What I want to understand is, as we are in groups, are we just collaborating on a research and then we submit our individual work, or we submit similar work as that group
You
that
only
we?
submit one assignment as a group.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
Okay. Um, Mabalenhle.
Good evening, Doc, Kagiso, and
Hi.
everyone. I just wanted to find out on assignment one, we obviously when you go on my Unisa to read the thing about the module, there's a part where you need to introduce yourself on the WhatsApp group, the main group.
Mhm.
On my assignment, I attached that part where I introduced myself on the main WhatsApp group because I submitted it before you could create the group. But already we've introduced ourselves in my group and we have our own WhatsApp group now. Am I going to be penalized for that or what?
Yeah, I do think probably yes. So you will have to just go edit it. You can still edit it. The due date hasn't passed.
Okay.
Okay. I'm glad you are working together already. You see, guys, it is doable. Okay, last two questions. Non to go.
Good evening, Doc. Good evening, everyone. Doc, I heard you mention that you are in a WhatsApp group. How do we join that group?
The link, I did share it. I will share it in this class also. Mm, No. Mm, Maybe I get the link now on the phone. Now I have to share it on the phone. Kagiso, can you find the link and maybe share it?
I think if we can go to the tutorial letter 101, can be much easier.
Okay, all right, perfect. If the link is in tutorial letter 101, you can just click through it there. Okay. Takutswa.
Good evening, everyone, and good evening, Dr. Corinne. I just wanted to ask a question because I'm still struggling to find or locate my name or on a specific group that you put me on. So I'm sitting in
Okay.
front of my laptop right now, and I'm really struggling to locate my name.
Okay, let me just look for you. Let's see. You are in group 18.
How do I see that
So
on my
if
end?
you should go to, you see here you are. I can see you are on the site. You see my Nisa here, this link.
Yes.
Then you go, see your initial show TC here. Next to it is
Yes.
a small little bubble there. If you click on that bubble thingy, it will show you group. If you click on
Oh,
group, it
thank
should
you.
give it. Okay. No
Got it.
worries.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Then the last question for tonight from my very much appreciated assistant.
Thank you, Doc. Doc, I just want to find out with regards to the template for assessment 1. It's got subheadings and headings. What does that mean? I'm the only one that's confused. Because I mean, I'm
No,
looking at
you
the.
don't have to use it for this
Oh, okay.
assignment.
I can just
Yeah.
write task 1 and whatever, and obviously
Yeah,
answer.
with your
Okay.
name and student number. You must
Yes.
know how to do that. So that
Yes, we
is the
do.
templates are more for the other assignments where you have to write. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank you so much.
one of the things that you will learn, what this module needs to do is to prepare you to do a master's degree. And I'll reference that a lot when it comes to things, for example, like the templates. A master's degree has got a very specific way of writing it and structuring it. The same with an academic article. It has specific look and feel to it. So you need to get used to using that look and feel. Not to stifle anyone's creativity, but it's one of those conventions. Okay, very last question. Penny.
Hello, Dr. and good evening, everyone. I just want to find out on the assessment templates because it shows list of references. Should we reference of what we've been going through to the assessment, or we just don't need to reference?
Okay, tell me, when do you reference? What should you reference? I'm
No,
going
I
to
just
use this as a teaching moment. When do you reference something?
like if you have read about the case study or anything, then you understand through it, then you have to go through the researches and do the referencing. So I just want to find out because on the templates for this assessment, it's showing list of references. So I don't know if we don't have to
No. So
reference
for
on.
this assignment, you don't use the ideas of other people. You're just putting screenshots of kind of getting ready, making sure you're in the group, understanding what is research ethics, understanding what is a systematic literature review. So you don't reference for this assignment.
Thank
You
you.
just put yes.
Thank you so much,
But
Doctor. Because I
you
was like,
only
wow.
always reference when you use other people's ideas. You are
All
correct.
right. Okay, noted. Noted, Doctor. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, guys, then that's a wrap. We will see each other on cyberspace. I'm gonna end the recording. Thank you so much for joining us. Kagiso, thank you for joining. Um, we are going to do this iteratively. Some days you're gonna get me, other days you're gonna get Kagiso.